Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV reaction. Today we have Rise, the theme of Alexander Prime, apparently, as requested by Outlaw Justice and my executive producers. Another Final Fantasy XIV song. I am never going to complain about those. It's always so cool to be like, what's the new genre? What is this song going to be to reflect this character that I know nothing about? It's just going in blind is my favorite thing with music. It's kind of the whole point of this channel, really. So it gets me giddy. So without further ado, let's go! Okay, we bumpin'. Okay. Is it gonna be more rocky or what? Okay. Like alty. Alright. I wasn't sure if they were gonna take it a different direction. They still might. It's almost a little nu metal-esque in a way. Could not tell you what those lyrics would be without them being on screen. Those are so compressed. More uplifting than I thought it was going to be here. They changed the choice of chords. It's like we went from Rob Zombie to Limp Bizkit there for a second. This like siren that's constantly there, that alarm. That's neat to just keep around. It really feels to me like a lot of like indie alt nu metal bands I've heard. Going for this very specific aesthetic here. Like, I don't even know if nu metal would be fully accurate. Maybe just closer to rap metal. But it can be really hard to put these songs in a specific category. Like this brightening up is such an interesting choice. I love that though. The kind of like a club dancey bass line, like that's why I can't seem to find a genre that's specific for this song. it's putting a bunch of different elements of a bunch of different things in there. I think the closest thing probably is like nu metal, rap metal, somewhere in that window. But things like that, like electro bass line, is very like, that's new. Why is that in there? Just such an interesting blend every single time. So I've listened to this song a number of times now, just trying to figure out what exactly is happening in the chords here, because this song is kind of weird. So I've been able to figure out that this song is in the key of C, which is one of the easiest to learn. It's very obvious that everything in the key of C is all white notes. There's nothing weird about this key. There's no black notes in there at all. No dissonance, nothing. It's all love. Why does it have dissonance then? They decided to do something a little bit fun with this one when they changed the chord structure later in the song. That's that moment where I'm like, whoa, that was weird. Why did they change that? It sounds more uplifting. So most of the song was C, A minor, D minor, F. That was kind of it, and then it would just cycle back down to C. So not really much going on with that, you know, nothing really to write home about until they decide to switch it. So they go up to F. We start here now. Now it goes straight up the line, F, G, A minor. So we have that really natural lift, especially in the key of C. It's so bright and everything just tonally works together. There's, again, no dissonance here at all. So it's just like, okay, so we're getting happier then. All right, sick. We're here. Woo! They decide to go down to D and then E, which is a great note here, but doesn't necessarily work in the key. Neither does D, because we got black notes in both of these. So we're sitting here like, okay, there's a flat in these. That shouldn't be in the key of C. But what it does do is allow for more of this flexibility to go elsewhere. And boy, do they ever abuse that. So what we get after that, we go kind of back up, and then it goes D, D minor, then it gets weird, E sus4, and I believe it goes to E flat, and it doubles back on that. I'm gonna try to play this up to speed just so you can hear exactly what's going on here. It's really weird though, so no promises. God, that's hard for me to do. I'm not a pianist at all. I just know how to fiddle around. So that is weird. And then when we get that second time around, we actually settle into an E, which is a great resolution. And that's fucking perfect. You know, we get that nice final note to it, and then it runs back to the C, and then we do the same stuff that we were already doing before, and it loops, because that's the nature of these songs a lot of the time. They loop, that's totally fine. It's just an interesting build, coming from that exact progression I just played, to then just lifting up and then deciding to utilize these other chords to introduce the flats that you're gonna need to utilize later. So it's like pulling you in the direction of a new key almost. Not fully, it's basically borrowing some notes just for a little bit, but it changes the energy and makes everything feel a lot brighter when it needs to. And then that like E sus4 going into the E is a classic. I've talked about this a few times recently. Funny enough, just a lot of songs recently have used it, but sus4s resolving into their own main chord is totally a thing that just naturally happens. It adds a tension to it, and it subdues that tension immediately. So that will always feel good. It's just music theory. It's always going to sound good. You can do that with literally any chord. For example, here's C sus4 into C and D sus4 into D. It just works. It's one of those music theory things that somebody came up with someday, and it just fucking everyone started using it. It's such a good tensive release to a song. So having the phrase end on that before starting back looping is the best way to use that ever. A lot of people will use it at the end of choruses for that reason, because then the verse will follow and it just follows that natural progression of restarting everything. It answers a question and we get right back into it. That's all you really need when it comes to music theory. When you're telling a story, write it so it answers something before you continue on. Unless the point of the song is to not answer a question, this is a surefire way to do that every time. Answer your questions with a very fat period right behind it. Lyrically, I couldn't honestly tell you what's going on in this song. Musically, I thought it was a lot more interesting. The lyrics are usually never the like mainstay for these songs. It's never the focus. It just kind of talks vaguely about the character and maybe what their life is like. There have been a few exceptions to that where some lyricism in these is absolutely fantastic, but usually it's just something bolstering the boss theme, because that's usually what these are boss themes. Sometimes the Arcadian ones are a little bit more egregious with that ego lift, but either way, it's just a thing that they do, and it's a thing that works. You know, you have a boss, you need a theme, you make a song where the entire concept of it is just beefing up their own opinion of themselves, like a crowd of people going, hell yeah, this guy is awesome. Again, for the Arcadian stuff especially, that just makes a lot of sense. So for this one, I don't really see anything like super notable. He literally spells his own name, A to the L to the X-ander. Are you kidding me? You know, like it's very tongue-in-cheek, but at the same time, absolutely goofy to the point of not really having anything narrative to say, albeit there's probably some references in there that I just don't get because I don't know these characters. But either way, it's a fine song. It's not one of my favorites out of these, but it is one of the more interesting ones when it comes to that change, coming from a key like C that is super neutral and deciding to break those rules in order to add that tension right at the end. Leave it to Masayoshi Soken to be able to put that sort of thing in there and just be aware of how that would work and how that would feel going back into the song. These are things that professional composers do all the time, and for them, it might not feel like a big thing, but when you're talking about learning music theory, it's extremely valuable to know this sort of thing. So now you know, and if you want to make songs, you have a way to firmly put that period at the end of a sentence before getting back into the next thing. But I think I'm done yapping about this one, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to another song from Final Fantasy or anything else, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you want to guarantee something, much like Outlaw Justice did for this one, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, or you can force me to listen to something. It doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that and maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!